What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of Draft to Glory. From today, the themed drafts are making a return until the end of FIFA 18. Last year around this time we started with the themed drafts. We did specific nations, specific clubs, specific leagues, and the rules are quite simple. You have to take everything that shows up for whatever the theme is within the draft. And so what we're going to start with is a Premier League draft. I know what you're thinking, oh my god, a Premier League draft, it's not really original. Well, we actually got recommended it on Twitter because of the start of the Premier League this weekend again, so I'm excited for that. And so with that in mind, we will do a Premier League themed draft. But in terms of the themes for the videos going forwards, that will be dictated by you guys in the comment section. So whatever you want to see in terms of a themed draft, top comments will be the ones that I go with. So you guys are going to dictate the content for the rest of the year, which is awesome. So today, we are going for a Premier League themed draft. And with that, every single Premier League player that pops has to be taken. Obviously, if multiple Premier League players pop, like this, we get a choice. And so I will take Lacazette to go up top with Sergio Aguero, which means probably no highest rated drafts anymore. And it will mean that we probably get to use a whole bunch of players that we've never really used before. Oh, see, I would love to take that Isco, but sadly, we get Mkhitaryan. But it also probably means not winning as much anymore. You know, one of the things about having the theme drafts is we don't necessarily get to take the best players, and that will obviously have an impact on results. So we could potentially see, a whole bunch of first and second round exits in the coming times. Now, Fred's a decent card there. Good stand tackle, good physicals in terms of stamina, no strength, good pace, decent enough dribbling. But I think Ramsey's got less pace, less dribbling, more shooting, more passing, more physical, less defending. 6 of 1. He's a lot taller as Ramsey. Probably a lot more well-rounded, even though he's got a lack of pace. So we'll take him. We've actually got 3 Arsenal players out of 4 so far. If we do keep getting Arsenal players, I'll keep taking them. We get Højbjerg in there as well as another Premier League player. Not ideal. I mean, this team is all right so far. You know, obviously Aguero, Lacazette are good. Mkhitaryan's going to be a good winger with that 5-star, 4-star out on that left-hand side. Rambo and Højbjerg, not ideal, really. And then at right mid, I could take Mahrez. I'm going to take Silva. Better passing, very similar pace and dribbling, very similar everything really, but because Mahrez obviously has a much better, although this is the Man City transfer Mahrez, not that it makes any difference, because Mahrez has a much better card, I'm going to take Bernardo Silva in there. So 6 picks, 6 Premier League players so far. We're of course going to be able to almost definitely put together a full Premier League squad, and with that, Alonso going at left back. And this is one of the reasons why I will say that I probably won't win as much with theme drafts, is because now we've got Ramsey, Højbjerg, Silva and Alonso, who I would never take. They just wouldn't go in my team for me personally. Oh, what a saviour. Cesar Azpilicueta could be absolutely huge for us in that left centre-back spot. Come on, give me another big Premier League defender. Not a big Premier League defender. And again, someone that could be problematic. We get Britos with that low pace. He's got all right defensive and physical stats. He's got a Catalyst Chem style, so he gets a small pace boost, but that is not a very good card. And then in at right back, Hector. Ooh, Carl Walker. Damn, we've got like a really good Man City / Arsenal draft going on here. I could have even taken Bellerin to get a 4th Arsenal, but we've got 3 City players, 3 Arsenal players, 2 Chelsea players. Let's see if we can get another City or Arsenal player. We can get a 3rd Chelsea player with Courtois. Of course, I'm actually going to take, I'd never see Yash in as well, so it sucks that we're not going to take him. But we're going to take De Gea, one of the best goalkeepers in the game. That is a fantastic sort of squad. De Gea, great. Azpilicueta, great. Mkhitaryan, Lacazette, Aguero, great. I mean, I wouldn't mind upgrading the midfield and the centre-back just a little bit. We'll take Hugo Lloris there as well. Nice and high rated. If we even get, yeah, we could take Dani Alves. We actually might get like a relatively high rated squad here. You know, if we even got like a 191, 192, I'd be quite happy with that. And I'm going to even though like it's a Premier League themed draft, we already have, although Danilo, like if I wanted to go for a decent rating here and get it up to like a 191, 192, Diego Godin would be a good pull. But if we take Danilo, he at centre-back is going to be much better than Britos. Like Danilo on 7 chem, another Man City player as well, no less, is going to be much, much better than Britos on 10 chem. And so we're going to take him no problem at all. In the next midfield spot, Saul will be the guy that we pick. No dramas there. Brilliant. That's exactly what we needed. Now, do we put him in instead of Ramsey or do we put him in instead of Højbjerg? Let's pop him in there for the start. So Aaron Ramsey, compared to Højbjerg, is just a much worse card. Fair play. That Højbjerg card is a lot better than I thought. 4-star weak foot as well. 6'1", medium. He's got decent passing. With an artist chem style, his passing stats will actually be boosted massively, as will his dribbling stats. So he'll have really good ball control and reactions. His physicals are quite nice. His long shots are decent with good shot power. This isn't the worst card in the world, this Højbjerg. And with Matic in there now as well, this is becoming a much, much stronger squad. We've actually got like almost a top 4 Premier League squad. Not that Arsenal are in top 4 now, but we've got Arsenal, City, United, Chelsea, and then 1 Southampton player. That's a pretty cool Premier League squad so far. Next on the board, Raheem the Dream. And another Man City player, but he goes in there. This team is really shaping up. Who would I like to improve? Ultimately, if we could get a better left back and a better centre back, this would be a great squad. I don't mind Højbjerg in the midfield. Obviously, if we can improve on him, I'll be happy to do so. We'll take Alexis Sanchez there. Nice high-rated 91. And I actually might start him instead of Lacazette. Although Sanchez on 7... or 6 at the moment. He's got a little better stats. He's got a fair bit better shooting, way better passing, bit better dribbling, bit better physical, and a better chem style. But Lacazette obviously starts on 10 chem, so probably gets better overall stats. Still though, good player to have on the bench. Yarmolenko is actually now a Premier League player, but we'll take Cork. We'll stay true to having Premier League players every position, every pick if we can, and if only then if there's not a Premier League player, will we take a non-Premier League player. And with 3 spots left, there's no Premier League player here, so we'll take Mbappe as another good super sub. We've got a couple of really decent players actually for subs at the moment. Oh, Mo Salah, the 93 version. Now, do we play... Ooh, got a choice here, got a good choice. We get ourselves also... Wow, the amount of Arsenal players that we could have here. Sanchez, Aubameyang, Lacazette and Mkhitaryan and Aaron Ramsey. I am going to take Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. This is a good squad. Let me see what rating we can get. See, I might play Salah in midfield. Because of how good his passing and physical is, that's a 189 squad overall as well. See, Mo Salah on 7 chem as a centre mid. 2-star weak foot, a little bit of a problem, but 4-star skill moves. Really good short passing, great dribbling, good physicals. He doesn't have like great tackling or anything, but we'll have 1 defensive destroyer by way of Matic, and then 1 attacking midfielder by the way of Salah. And I rate this team. And then do I start Aubameyang over Lacazette? Lacazette has a little more physical, a fair bit more dribbling than Aubameyang, but obviously way less pace. Tell you what, we'll save Aubameyang as a sub. We'll also save Sanchez and Mbappe as subs. There's just pretty much 1 position in this team that I'm worried about, and that's the centre-back position. Left-back is a bit neither here nor there. Alonso's not bad. He's got decent reactions of ball control. His defensive and physical stats are okay. He's quite a well-rounded card. But yeah, having Danilo in that back line isn't necessarily ideal. However, I could start, if we're going to be playing players on 7 chem anyway, I could do that with Matic and a shadow card on 7 chem. He'll still get a decent pace boost, a great defensive boost. I'm going to do that. I'm going to play Nemanja Matic in that back line with Azpilicueta. We're going to start Højbjerg and Mo Salah. This is a solid squad, man. It really is. Let's put Saul on the bench, see if we can get this up to a 190. We can't. A Premier League manager is still going to be necessary. We'll still get 2 bonus points for a Premier League manager. Do we get 1? We don't. So what do we have? Egypt or Serbia. No Egyptian or Serbian, of course. Why would there be? But there you go, guys. That is the draft. The Premier League only draft. and it's actually turned out to be a sick team. I'll be interested to see how well we could do with this. Let's get into the action. Okay guys, as we get into the gameplay, the first opponent we come up against has got 4-1-2-1-2, 96 chem, 91 rated team. Some great players in there. Team of the season, Neymar and De Gea, Festival of Fut, Son and Modric, Kyle Walker, Laudrup. Just generally an alright midfield and attack. But then pretty weak defence, Mangala, Bartra and Antunes there. Not ideal defenders, although obviously with De Gea in there it kind of helps him a little bit. And I tell you something, man, for the draft today, for the games today, every single opponent in this draft was a top quality opponent. I don't know if it's just everyone coming in to, you know, last chance rewards before Wednesday when all these special cards go out of packs, or if I was just unlucky on this occasion, but every single player was like just solid. So the first game, we take the 1-0 lead. My opponent does eventually get a red card, and I go 2-0 up in the 82nd minute, but it took me a long time to get the first goal, took me a long time to get the second goal, and I even ended up conceding in the 90th minute, and my opponent made it 2-1. But we get ourselves a nice first round win against Super Brian. You can see by the match stats there, it was close, man. I had a bit more possession, but in terms of chances, Super Brian definitely had some chances there. Next opponent with the 4-3-1-2. Team of the season, Suarez. Team of the year, Modric. Festival of Fut, Marcelo, Godin and Lloris. In form, Bale, Azpilicueta and Cruz. The hero or man of the match or whatever it is, Christian Eriksen. Team of the season, Kyle Walker and Asensio in the midfield. Just, again, generally a absolutely brilliant squad. And for the first time, we go behind in this draft. A beautiful little shimmy from Suarez, and he tucks it under the goalkeeper. And even though I did equalise relatively quickly afterwards here, still underneath 10 minutes, just a few minutes after kickoff, Raheem Sterling down the right-hand side for me, finds Højbjerg. Højbjerg finds Aguero. Aguero gets some space on the top of the box and just stabs that one home to make it 1-1. This again was just a really tough game. 35 minutes or so on the clock before we got the second goal. Lacazette here with the ball finds Sergio Aguero. Beautiful finesse shot from Aguero to make it 2-1. And I kind of like just made my attacks count after that, whereas my opponent didn't. It was an even game. It was end to end. You see me 3-1 up here, 80th minute. Aguero gets the ball. I find the ball through to Lacazette. He fights off the defender, finesses that one past the goalkeeper. And we do get a rage quit here from NepentheZ Gaming at 4-1. But again, you'll see via the match stats when they show up that this was not a whitewash of a game. You know, 4-1 is a scoreline that looks great, but it was a lot harder than that. I was actually surprised this guy rage quit. You know, 4-1 with 10 minutes, I can understand it, but he was creating chances, man. He had opportunities to get back into the game, and you can see there from the match stats, 7 shots, 5 on target for him, 11 shots, 9 on target for me. I edged shots and much better possession again. But into the semi-finals, guys, 4-1-2-1-2, 3 Festival of Fut cards again, Messi, Modric and Valencia. He's got striker Ronaldo, and the 95 informed Luis Suarez. He's got Rakitic in there. Team of the year, Kante, Azpilicueta. NepentheZ Check, who's a goalkeeper I just don't like in this game. Obviously that benefits me, and when I saw that NepentheZ Check, I was like, okay, I can really take advantage of that goalkeeper. But much like game 2, we end up conceding the first goal. This guy just accelerates away with Luka Modric, finds Lionel Messi, who taps that one past the goalkeeper to go 1-0 up. But once again, I found the equaliser relatively quickly afterwards. 8 or so minutes after, here we get Højbjerg down the left-hand side into Alonso. Alonso finds Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan gets the ball into Sterling, who lays it off to Aguero. That's a beautiful finish to make it 1-1 on the 33rd minute. And I eventually went 2-1 up in the 66th minute. So again, you could see how tough a game this was. There was just like really lack of goals until late in most games here. We go 2-1 up in the 66th minute, and then, as you can see here, 4-1 in the 90th minute, and we eventually get the 5-1 goal. Aubameyang there turns, strikes on that left peg, in off the post to make it 5-1. But once again, check the match stats, guys. What a tough game this was. Again, I dominated possession, but I only had 4 shots on target and scored 5 of them. That one off of the post, not being as a non-target shot there, and that sends us into the final. We'll come up against a good team. Azpilicueta, David Luiz and Kante, amazing. David De Gea, obviously great. Mbappe, Immobile and Gomez, absolutely phenomenal. Martial and De Bruyne, very good players as well. This guy did make some subs too, and again, I concede the first goal there. Gomez in behind, just 2 minutes on the clock, straight off a kickoff. Gomez scores to make it 1-0. I did eventually make it 1-1 here. The ball comes in from into Salah. Boom, 1-1 right there. And this was just quite a back and forth game, actually. This was one where there could have been 3 goals for me, 3 goals for my opponent. You know, could have been it could have been tied. It was tied into the 24th minute. I eventually get a really, really good goal here. Great move between all my players. Aguero finishing that off to put me 2-1. And then I did finally get that 2-goal lead a few minutes later, about 35 minutes, 38 minutes on the clock now. The ball comes into Sterling. Sterling with the fake shot finds Højbjerg. And Højbjerg is the one to put that in the back of the net at 38 minutes. So it was late in the game at 3-2 where tides kind of changed. I hit the bar with Aguero, and with 89 minutes on the clock here, I've still got possession. For some reason, like recently I've been playing really good FIFA. I would have held that ball, would have passed it back out to the right back, maybe to the right centre mid. I would have recycled possession, would have just held on to this win and won the draft 3-2. That's how I've been playing recently. For some reason, I was trying to put this guy away. I was trying to get a 4th goal and it was unnecessary. And then with some lazy defending from me, he gets in a pass that, I mean, he shouldn't really be able to get that pass in ultimately. I've got like 5 defenders in the box to his 1 attacker. And then at 8-8 with the penalty shootout, he scores to win the penalty shootout 9-8 after 10 penalties each. Quite devastated to concede so late and then lose on penalties. But he was a great player. He thoroughly deserved to win the game, essentially. You know, he really did do well. You can see by the match stats, once again, I dominated possession, but not much of anything else. We get our back-to-back draft final loss, which sucks. But guys, that is the end of the gameplay. Let's get into the packs. Alright guys, so we end up losing in the final on penalties. I'm devastated. I'm not going to lie, I'm devastated. 3-1 up in the final and generally in control of the game. No disrespect to my opponent though. He was a good player. Great player. If I were to guess, he probably gets elite in foot champs. He was very, very strong. But being 3-1 up and then conceding in the manner that I did in the 90th minute, my fault to a degree because I could have played the game a lot slower. I had a chance in the box in the 90th minute with Aubameyang or maybe Aguero. I hit the bar and I could have just held possession, seen the game out and got the win. No problem at all. Into extra time we go, and guttingly, I missed a couple of sitters during extra time, and then Raheem Sterling in the 120th minute misses a sitter by all accounts, hits the post there. You know, the keeper was in a good spot, but you guys have probably had those shots before. It doesn't matter what the keeper does, he will just parry that into the net. So all Raheem Sterling has to do is get that on target and I win the game. I then go up in penalties and I dive the right way out of his 10 penalties about 5 or 6 times, and the goalkeeper just kept doing a thing where he would either dive over the ball or like he would start to dive and then just kind of stutter and fall down. And it's like I'm diving that way, dive that way. So ended up losing on penalties, really frustrating. We was going like corner for corner for corner for corner a lot of the times, and it was just guesswork. Sometimes he actually guessed the right way for me as well, but the goalkeeper dived over it too. I'm not saying that he didn't have that in his court either. And then the penalty that kind of changed everything, I decided to go down the middle for a penalty. Don't know why, and he just stood down the middle and saved it. So that was frustrating. So we get a final loss there, guys. And I tell you, I was saying to Marshall and Toby, in this draft, every single opponent was very, very good. It was such a hard slog to get to the final. But a final loss, back-to-back final losses, and that's back-to-back finals that I've lost, and I feel like I should have won. Both of them. I'm absolutely gutted. We actually get an alright reward, a rare gold pack and a premium gold players pack. The rare gold packs, as we well know, are some of the worst packs that you can get in this game, and this is exactly why. If we even get an 82 rated player, it will be a good day. We end up getting a couple of position modifiers. I mean, this is why rare packs are just trash, if I'm being perfectly honest. They're just not worth the paper they're printed on. 25,000 coins for them, 500 FIFA points is a rip-off. We also get a premium gold players pack. Can we get a good reward out of this one? No. So again, thin packs out of those. Gutted dudes. I really feel like I should have and could have done much better there. Really frustrated. I hate losing games in that manner where I was in control and could have won it. I don't mind losing, especially, you know, that guy was good, like I said. I just hate losing the game in that manner. Really frustrated with myself. I should have won that at 3-1. I should have just cleaned it out and held it down. But that's FIFA for you. That, guys, was the Premier League only draft. This is going to be the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.